Hi,
Hi,
everybody.
everybody. I guess first of all, can you see us and hear us? First thing. And we will introduce ourselves. My name is Noelle, and this is
Kelly.
And we are Knits and Pieces, and we are a knitting podcast, mostly coming to you from Southwestern Ontario, Canada. And this is our Tuesday night knit chat. So this is our little informal get together where we get together with all of our friends in our knitting cafe, our virtual knitting cafe, and just catch up with everybody. So it's great to see so many people in here. Welcome, everybody. If it's your first time here, we hope you enjoy yourself. Again, there's a chat going on here. Speak up if you have any questions. There's lots of people that will answer them for you. And yeah, just welcome. It's so nice to see so many people here. I was in a little early just checking out some of the comments, and Anne was in here first. So hi, Anne. And Joanne said, welcome to the best night of the week. That just made me feel so happy. That just made me feel so happy. And we have a new person that's commenting today. And I just want to say a special hi to Gary.
Hi, Gary.
So hi, Gary. Everybody else was saying hi. So I just thought we'd say hi too. And thank you, everybody, for the birthday wishes. It actually was yesterday. Yeah, so another year older.
Hey, don't look at it that way. Do not look at it that way. Another year wiser.
Well, no, another year older. So, you know, the big thrill on your birthday now is having a 2-hour nap in the afternoon and you're happy. So,
well, you can look at it from the point of view that you're fortunate enough to be here celebrating a birthday.
Yeah, right? That's right. That's right. So,
okay.
Yeah, well, so it's been a week and we're now into November. Like, hard to believe. I can't believe, like, where did the year go? Seriously.
The neighborhood is busy decorating for Christmas. And I said that to Mike yesterday. We were out doing yard work. And I said to him, you know, or I guess on Sunday we were doing yard work. I said, you know, and I'm just coming from a place of wifely happiness here. It's quite a nice day. Maybe you could get up there and put up our Christmas lights. So when you're trying to bring me joy, it won't be so cold for you in December. And he goes, oh, is that what I should do? He didn't do it. He said he has another plan for Christmas lights this year. So he wants to see if he can attach them a different way. But I just thought, you know, I just want to make his job easier. And I was looking out for him, right?
So I let Ross pick his own day. He always gets them up, so I'm not worried.
Well, Mike always puts them up, but, you know, heck, I'd like it to be, you know, in the warmer weather. So he's not out there like when it's really, really cold. And then I'm feeling just the tiniest twinge of guilt that he's out there in the cold putting up Christmas
But I knit Ross warm socks and a warm hat, so he's good. And speaking of Christmas stuff, I saw that Stacy was in here earlier and she was saying that she was joining in the bobble along. So there is a bobble along going on and is by the Knitting Tutor. And I was just thinking of that. I was thinking today, oh, I should get out my little, because, you know, I need to add more to my list of things to do.
There's Christmas stars and Christmas sweaters.
Just get out my, I want to knit some more of the little baubles because they're just so much fun. So,
yes.
so thanks, Stacy. I think I might do that. I might get them out and just, you know, do one here and there so that, you know, I'm not doing 20 on Christmas Eve.
Right.
So, okay. So, we usually start this. We go back and we do a little bit of admin because we go through the comments from the previous week or emails that we've gotten and just see if anybody's had any questions about anything. So we do have a few. So the first one was someone had asked, when you do button bands, how do you stop that curl? And I'm thinking she's meaning maybe that, you know, like how sometimes when you do it, it kind of sucks in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Or I guess, I don't know. I've not had a problem with it curling like under or over, but I usually find whatever problems I have with the button band, it's usually taken care of during blocking. And sometimes you might have to pin it so that you get your button band like the same length as your opening of your cardigan. But like I find a good block makes a big difference in the button bands.
It does.
So,
and I will demonstrate that a little later because I was having a bit of an issue when I finished Miles' cardigan, but I can talk about that later when I show the cardigan.
Okay. And then my second, I had homework last week. I was supposed to try out the new cast off. Well, I did do it, but I didn't do a swatch. I thought if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do a project. So I did do a project. And when I get to it, I will show you it and show you that and show you what I did with it, because I thought, why would I do a swatch when I can do a project, right? So I will show that when we get to it. Okay. Next question was, we talk about cataloging our yarn stash. And
Yes,
I believe both Kelly and I use Ravelry.
we do.
So simply for the ease of, if I want to look something up, I can go in and filter it to what I want. If I just want to look at DK weight yarns, I can look at DK weight yarns. If I just want to look at a specific fiber like mohair, I can look at just mohair. And I'm sure there's other ways. I believe you can even filter it by color.
You can filter by color. You can even say, oh, hey, like, because I happen to have an entire tote box of Knit Picks yarn, I can filter it by Knit Picks and just see which colors I have in the Knit Picks yarn. If you, or, if you have multiple colors and weights of the same brand, you can filter by brand. Yeah.
Right. And then once you do put it into Ravelry, so let's say, like in my case, I have a whole lot of Holst Garn Super Soft. So if you go in and you put it all in, and when you add it in, that your second one that you're putting in, you just add another colorway. Yes. And then basically all you have to do in that particular one is put in the colorway name and the amount that you've got. But then when you go back to see that yarn, listed on the right-hand side is all the others you have, all the other colors and amounts that you have of that same yarn. So that makes it really easy. If you're looking at, you need 4 or 5 colors, then you can actually see right in that list what you've got there. Mm-hmm. So I haven't found anything for myself that works any better than putting it in Ravelry. No. I just need to find something to kick myself to get it into Ravelry.
I have to admit, I'm pretty envious. I heard Beth talking about this on the weekend of Rhinebeck, and also Isabel when we went to Chicago. Both of them kind of came back and said they do this in their hotel room. And I'm thinking, you know what? And then all they have to do when they get home is just put the yarn away.
Okay, you know what? When do they drink wine?
I know, but the thing is, Noelle, it would be better to do it then, because it's just a tiny bit every day instead of me bringing it home and leaving it in the bags around the perimeter of this room.
My problem is not putting it in that; it's getting the pictures of it.
But we could do that on the hotel bed.
Not doing it. Not happening.
I don't know. I think I want to try.
I'm on vacation. Cataloging yarn is work.
I think I want to try it one time. Isabel and Beth have inspired me.
I'll be somewhere knitting and drinking while you're doing it.
Okay, you'll be sleeping, because I'll be doing it after 8:30 at night.
Okay.
Oh goodness.
So the next question was about toe-up socks. What was a good pattern for a man's toe-up sock, and what type of a heel do you put in? Well, I would say that a lot of toe-up sock that people are doing right at the moment is the Drea Renee Knits Everyday Sock. And it goes
DRK Everyday Sock.
Yes, it goes up to adult males. I don't know if anybody's got another pattern in here, but basically any pattern you can kind of do it toe up. You can just switch around the direction. Now, heels for a toe up, I think a lot of people, what's that heel that's in the DRK? Is that a Flegel heel?
Yes, it is.
Okay, because can you do a heel flap and gusset when you do toe up?
Yes.
Yeah, we're asking, can you? Okay.
Yes,
I mostly do top down socks, so I don't have a lot of knowledge about toe up socks, but
I don't know what it was called. But I did a pair of socks. Well, I've told this story before. They were once upon a time my favorite socks. They were called Melisandre. And it is beautiful toe-up pattern. And the way the heel comes together is like nothing short of magic. And I absolutely love those socks. And then I felted them because they had a high alpaca count. But somebody did, one clever knit chatter came back and sent me a message and said that I can put those socks to use. I can ball them up and throw them through like my washer and dryer and turn them into dryer balls. So thank you for that tip. I plan to do that. But anyway, the heel, and I don't know what type of a heel it has in there. I only know the name of that pattern, and I absolutely love the way it worked out. And it has a gusset and it's a toe up. But the other one that you're talking about, I can show these just because they're still sitting here. These are the DRK Everyday Socks, and this is the Flegel heel. So it does have like it has a gusset shape in here, the way it works, but then the heel is this clever little triangle wedge, which isn't showing really great in here. I know it's hard to see, but hopefully you can see it a bit. But this is such a good fitting sock. And this is in the fingering weight. And then she came out with another pattern called was it bear paw socks?
Bear paw, yep.
And it's
Bear
basically the same pattern, but she has done all the conversions for you if you want to go to a thicker yarn, so more of a DK weight. So
and Irene has socks out too. Irene
yes,
from 3-Ply Podcast has socks that have a strong heel in them. And I think that's a nice sock too. If you've got like a higher instep, it does give you more room. So that's another good pattern that you could try for a toe-up sock. And she has several different designs in it.
It was her Get Shorty.
Get Shorty.
That's right.
So yeah, so Get Shorty has the strong heel in it.
And they fit really well.
Yeah. And the next wasn't a question, it was just a comment. And the comment was that this viewer finds that using an actual headlamp works better for her than a neck light. So I think we all have our preferences on where we like the light to be when we're doing our project. So you just got to figure out what works for you and make sure it's charged in case of storms.
That's right. Going back to the heel, I see Gary commented too. He says that he likes the sleeve heel.
Yeah.
They give him more room across the instep. Same.
Yeah.
I've talked about this a million times. I have that really high instep on my foot and I need all that extra room. So like when I'm doing an afterthought heel, I knit some extra rows in there before I start the heel just to give me more space across the instep. Yeah.
Okay. Next question was about baby sweater blocking. They like the technique that we use with the pool noodles to do regular adult garments. But for baby garments, I just use the empty paper towel holder.
Okay.
Or like a Christmas paper wrapper holder. Or like I've got like for little tiny baby things, when I get yarn on a cone, some of the cones are straight. I use the inside of the cone. So it's basically anything that's circular in diameter, but just
I'm going to grab my thing. Okay. Hang tight. I'm going to grab my thing.
So, and all that does is I like when I block to put those in the sides and in the shoulders here because and some people like it. It just depends what you like. I don't like what looks like a pressed line. I like just to have the roundness of the shape of the sleeve. And in here, I don't like the solid line. I like it just to flow through from one side to the other. So that's why we use the pool needles. Now, other people use other things too. Julie is saying here that you can use pipe insulation. It does have a smaller diameter than a pool noodle. I know I have several different sizes of the pool noodle. Some are smaller diameter than others, but none of them are small enough for a baby sweater. So
this is what I use for the baby sweaters. It looks just like a pool noodle, but you buy it at the hardware store. It's actually, hello in there. It's a pipe insulation. So it has like a split in it because you put it around pipes to insulate them, like around your hot water heater and whatnot. So that's what it's for, but you can, it's not very expensive and it comes in about, I think, a 4-foot length. So you can just buy that and cut it to the lengths of baby sleeves. And this works really well.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last question was about a favorite buttonhole technique. My new favorite buttonhole technique is the 1-row buttonhole technique where you do it all right and it's done by the time you go across it. And I think I first came across it, and I'll see if I can find a tutorial and add it on the Shiftigan cardigan by Andrea Mowry, and she does that. And then you have a choice. Do you want it a 2-stitch, a 3-stitch, a 4-stitch, and you can do whatever you want as you go along. If I
actually don't deviate, I don't knit a lot of cardigans. I hope to change that because I have some sweater quantities for cardigans. So I haven't knit a lot, and I usually will just use the one that's in the pattern, but I like the method that you just described. So that's probably something that I would incorporate. Once I do find a technique I like, that's generally kind of something that I stick with, and I will pull that into the patterns that I knit as I see fit. So I feel free to deviate from the patterns.
Yep. And one thing that you can do, if you find that you do your buttonhole and it does end up too big, you can actually take a little piece of elastic thread and go on the inside of it and just kind of sew that around your buttonhole just to kind of keep the yarn together and still have a little bit of stretch to put it over your button. So.
I don't want to leave
Okay.
the socks because I wanted to show this comment. Look at this. Marianne says Gertine Strong, who is the designer of the Strong Heel, is in her knitting group.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
She's a
Yeah, I think
heel. She's
Marianne did mention that
a
before.
heel
Yep.
celebrity in her knitting group.
So
Sheila's asking if we could list those sock patterns in our show notes.
yep, if I can remember what they are, but yes, I think it was
Oh,
the
apparently we were
Irene
frozen.
sock. Oh, well.
I didn't think we were frozen.
Well, we weren't frozen on my screen, but that doesn't mean
No, we weren't
frozen,
on my screen
so.
either. Goodness. Well, hopefully it wasn't for too long. And I'm sure it wasn't some hideous expression because you never freeze like
It's
this.
never freezing. No.
I had a question, an admin question. This was from someone who really liked this hat that I showed a couple of weeks ago, the cloud hat, and wanted to make some for grandchildren. So was looking for, a few people are saying it's frozen. Sarah, you say we're back. We're back. I hope we're back. Okay. She was wanting to make this hat for grandchildren, but you know, this yarn that I used is absolutely gorgeous yarn. It is the Knitting Loft Lush base, and I took 2 colors and knit it together. But you know, this is a lovely hat for myself, and I would have to give pause if I were making this for grandchildren too. So anyway, what I did a little bit of research, and I did find something that might be similar, that you could make this in a more grandchildren friendly. And when I say grandchildren friendly, I'm not just talking about the price. I'm actually talking about the wearability too. This is something that you would want to wash by hand and lay flat to dry. So something, if you want something more washable, and also, not gonna lie, children tend to lose their hats. I wouldn't want to lose this hat. So I did look up something and I found this, and I think it may work. I haven't seen the yarn myself. I was going to pop into Michael's and check it out, but it is disappeared. There it is. So it's the Yarnspirations Karen Latte Cakes, and it is an Aran weight yarn. It looks super fluffy. It had really good yardage, and it's a great price. And as you can see, Michael's $14.99, but then it was 30% off. And I think pretty much every other week they switch their yarns around so you could get something that's 30% off. So I think that could work. I really think that could work for these fluffy hats for grandchildren.
Yep.
And then before I leave this, I had mentioned, but now I wanted to pull them out. This was something that I had bought at Knit City, the tags that I put on it, because I had some questions when I showed this on Ravelry the other day. So I put this little leather, I don't really know that it's meant to be a button. I'm not going to call it a button. I just think it's a little leather tag. So I stitched that onto the hat, and I got these from Jezebel B when we were in Montreal. So that's her logo, and you can just look her up. I know on Instagram she has information on there, and then she has a shop that she sells from, and she was selling them in a few different colors, and I really liked them. And so I was happy to have found a good project to make use of one.
Okay, Antonella said she likes the latte cake yarn, said it was great for kids stuff. So that's
perfect. Good. Okay.
And Sandra said she used the tin can apps for the first time.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to add more patterns to it. So
well, they're working on that.
They're
working on a way to add the graphs in there in the most user-friendly way as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I've used it a couple of times now for a flax sweater and for the world's simplest mittens. So they do have some good basic patterns on there already. So I mean, it is nice, certainly is nice to open up a screen and just see the size that you're using and not have to sift through everything else. So okay, was there anything else that you had for admin? I guess we have some prizes.
We do. We have prizes.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll move on to that.
Yeah, we were at last Tuesday. We're at the end of October. So we have our sock prizes for October. So every month, at the end of the month, we draw a prize for our year-long sock along. So, so this year, at the end of October, we give away a pattern prize that's generously donated by Natalie of Remembrances Pottery. And then we also have a sock yarn prize. So we'll do the pattern winner first. So for October, the pattern winner is plebeian.
I think it's plebeian. Plebeian knitter.
Plebeian? Okay.
And she didn't have a name. She just by this. She said she didn't supply another name for us. So we're going to have to just talk about that.
Okay. So we have her finished socks here. It looks like maybe a Regia.
She called them her, it is. I think it's Regia. And she called it her 4th of July socks because she entered back in July with these ones. So she was number 1619 out of 2,501 pairs. Can you believe that?
That's awesome. Yep.
That's a lot of pairs.
Okay, so congratulations. You win a pattern of your choosing from Natalie's patterns. And then we also choose a sock yarn. And do you have the sock yarn there, Kelly?
I do. Hold on. Let me get bigger here again. So this time we are giving away one of the sock sets from Rose Hill Yarns. And we love their yarns. Love her yarns. And this one is called Beach Hut. And you may be thinking that this is a summer yarn. But here's the thing. I just booked our family a vacation to Mexico. So we are planning to get lots of beach. And I thought this was just sort of on my mind this week.
That's pretty.
And
but you know, blues in that can also look wintry.
Yeah, well, I would say this is like a winter taupe, right? Yeah. It's like that sandy taupe. Yeah. But I love her shades of turquoise. Like they're so deep and so beautiful. And like here, it's like the lighter teals and turquoise. And I think this is going to be a beautiful pair of socks. Gorgeous. So the winner is, whoops. There we go.
Okay, so the winner is Lutz Jasmine.
And her name is Jasmine.
Her name is Jasmine, and she has a beautiful pair of textured socks. I'm not sure what pattern it is. Did you see what pattern it was?
She didn't list the pattern, but can we take a minute to admire how stunning those socks are? I just love them. They're absolutely beautiful. They remind me of one of the Hunter Hammerson patterns. I knit a pair that was similar, but they're so beautiful. And I love
the design really pops.
Really, absolutely does. So
and Jasmine. Okay, so congratulations to Jasmine.
And Jasmine is joining us from Austria, if you can believe that.
Wow. Okay, so for the winners, for Jasmine, we need your full name, and you can email us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com with your full name and your mailing address. And for the sock yarn winner, if you can still email us at that email and just let us know what your Ravelry name is, and we will make sure that we get you the information so that you go and pick the pattern that you want. So congratulations to both of those winners. And everybody keep up the good work with putting your socks in there, because it's lovely to see them all in there. I know I haven't knit as many socks, although I do have some tonight. I haven't knit as many socks as I usually do, but there's just not enough time to knit everything that you want to knit.
I know. We kind of got the sweater bug and we've been away from socks, but I've been knitting on some socks in this past week, and I have to say my sock mojo is maybe back. I am kind of keen to be working on socks again, and yeah, they're fun. Okay. It's a nice, easy project to carry. You can.
It is a nice project to carry.
A pair of socks fits in any bag, right? So you can always have socks with you.
Yep. Okay, so we also have on our Rhinebeck episode, which aired just a little under 2 weeks ago, I think it's 2 weeks tomorrow, we had said that on this podcast, we would draw 5 names to win sets of the little note cards that my daughter designed that are like great note cards for knitters to have, because they are sayings that knitters will understand, or patterns that knitters will understand. So
absolutely.
We went through random number generator, and we'll just go through. And again, for anybody that has won these, if you just email us with your full name and your mailing address, and we will get those cards in the mail to you. So I'll just go through here. These were just randomly generated. So the first is Janet Clenard, and we met Janet. Janet's one of the wool and wine ladies. So we met her at Rhinebeck. And Janet said, it was such a pleasure to meet you two at Rhinebeck and very much enjoy your podcast. Janet from Wool and Wine. So Janet is our first winner. Second winner is Helen Hall. So Helen said, enjoying your podcast. I am a new knitter living in Southern Ontario, but originally from Bermuda, and she has not been to Rhinebeck. So yeah, so well, congratulations, Helen, on picking up knitting and being from Southern Ontario. Where in Southern Ontario? We should ask her. Maybe she's close to us.
Yes.
Okay, and then the third winner is Suzanne Bertrand. And Suzanne said, I have never been to Rhinebeck, but you make it sound so great. It was great. It is great. And she was going to add it to her bucket list. And thanks for sharing it with us. So yeah, I think it is a wonderful experience. I really enjoyed it. So
I know. Me
too. Still on a high. Okay, and the next winner is Jean Campbell. Jean said, great recap. Thanks. I haven't been to Rhinebeck yet. Never say never, though. Maybe next year. The note cards are adorable. Would love to win them. Well, Jean, you did.
You did.
So, there you go. And then our last winner of the 5 is Stephanie Hanna. And Stephanie said, I just watched 2 minutes. I already know I'm going to like you guys, so I subscribed. Woohoo! So welcome to the party. So,
yes. Well, thank you, Stephanie. That's a glowing review.
Anyway, thank you to everybody who took the time to watch the video and commented on it. And we wish you could all be there with us. It's fun to see people in person. Like, this is great. We love the Knit Chat Cafe, but it really is nice to see and talk to people in person. Because you guys all know what we look like, but we don't necessarily know what you look like. Although with our Christmas pajama party, we'll get to know what more people look like. So,
yes, we will.
Anyway, so congratulations to all of the winners. And again, you can just email us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com with your full name and your mailing address, and we'll get those in the mail to you. So
absolutely.
And Jacqueline and we're actually working on some more of them. So I'm hoping we're going to have some together, and we might be doing some little giveaways on them in our pajama party.
Yay.
So, okay. So that might be all of the admin. I mean, it's only half an hour in, right? So let's talk about knitting. Let's talk about what we're wearing.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. Kelly, what are you wearing?
I'm making a note. Okay, I'm wearing the Cravat by Caitlin Hunter, and I did banners.
Did you put a picture? I'll look. Did you put a picture in?
I did. I actually did.
You talk, I'll look.
Okay, so I love this sweater. Now, this is a short sleeve sweater, and the picture that I'm wearing in the photo, it's just over top of a sleeveless denim dress, but that's okay. Once winter comes, I'm completely okay to move into winter wear. And so this time I've got it over a long sleeve knit dress, and I love wearing my summer sweaters this way. And I love this pattern. This pattern was so much fun to make because of I love the little bit of lace around the yoke. I like the color work that's in here. It's not too much color work. And then there's lace throughout the whole body. And it was a quick and easy knit to make because it has no sleeves and it is cropped, but I just enjoyed every minute of working on this one. I really, really did. This is a great pattern. I use the Cicero by Malabrigo. Is it Malabrigo? Yes.
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 And that's yarn that we purchased when we were in Chicago at Elgin Knitworks. And I was recently gifted another sweaters quantity of it. So I'm looking forward to choosing another project to work on. It has a linen content. It's so unbelievably soft. So we've talked a little bit about this with working with linen to make sweaters, how it's not always the most enjoyable experience on your hands. The linen can be a little hard, but this is an incredibly soft yarn right out of the gate to work with. It's just really, really nice. And it has an absolutely gorgeous drape because of that linen content. And it also has, like the fibers that are in it, like it has this little bit of like a nubby texture to it as well.
Mhm.
So it's kind of hard to explain, and it is, but it's just a glorious yarn, and
Yep,
I really enjoyed it. And we're both in purple tonight, and we
we
didn't plan
are.
it.
We did not.
And what are you
Okay,
wearing?
so I am wearing the Badger and Bloom, and this is by Anne Vensel. And this one is done in the Knitting Loft Lush, which is what Kelly did her hat in. So this yarn is it is alpaca, silk. I can't remember if it's got some wool in it or not. I think it might.
No, I think it's just alpaca and silk.
And silk. Okay. Anyway, so this whole sweater, it took 0.8 of a skein of a 50-gram skein of the dark purple, which is called eggplant. And then it took 2.54 skeins of the light purple, which I believe was called smoky lavender. So the whole sweater weighs like just a little over 150 grams. Like it's amazing. And it just feels so soft and so cozy. And I just love it. I've had it on a couple of times. I haven't really noticed, like because of the texture, the way the yarn is, like I haven't really noticed a lot of pilling. It's just the halo that's on the yarn. Yeah, I would definitely do more sweaters than this. So the only adjustment that I made was there's supposed to be short rows at the bottom of the yoke, but because I was already at the length or as much as I needed, I didn't want to do them there. So what I did was I extended some short rows into the hem of the sweater so that the bottom of the sweater is just a little bit longer, which is actually perfect. It comes down, just down over my rear end, covers it. And it's it's so soft. And the Lush is the Knitting Loft's brand.
It's their house.
And
It's one of their house yarns.
one of
Yeah.
their house yarns. Yeah. And it comes in such beautiful colors, like absolutely gorgeous colors. So, because I did a bright pink kerchief in it, and I would love to have a cardigan like this because it would be such an amazing layering piece because it's so light to bring anywhere with you, yet it would give you the warmth that you needed when you put it on. Especially when you're talking about going somewhere like Rhinebeck and you're carrying something with you. It's nice if you're carrying something that's not super heavy. So
I know. And I like even this hat. I absolutely love this hat. And this is held double in that yarn, but it's just there's no weight to this on my head. And when this sits across my forehead, I can wear this all day and I don't even feel it. Like there's just no sometimes like you're sensitive to a yarn fiber on your forehead, nothing, no sensitivity. And it doesn't shed when you're working with it. And it doesn't shed when you're wearing it like a mohair, right? Like the mohair just keeps shedding and shedding. And I love mohair, but you have to know that it's going to shed, right?
Yeah.
But with this, it's just, I want to do a colorwork sweater in this too. I absolutely love it.
And Lucia commented here that sadly, Anne Vensel doesn't have very inclusive sizes or designs. And you are right, Lucia. And I honestly don't know. I really honestly don't know why this sweater couldn't be graded. It's a very small stitch repeat. I mean, she has it going down. She has a kid-size pattern in it. So obviously she graded it down. I honestly don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why. And it's not even like, I know we talk about like some of the European designers don't go up to very large sizes, but this is particularly restrictive in the sizes that she has. And I didn't realize that when I first did it, but when I looked at it, I thought, I mean, I think there was only 5 sizes in the sweater and I did the middle size. And I mean, most of the time I'm doing the small size. So there wasn't a whole lot of options in I mean, I guess all I can suggest is that like the more we let these designers know that their patterns are not size inclusive, maybe they'll take it more seriously and start to put out more patterns in, or sizes to accommodate more people. I mean, you would think they would want to sell more patterns.
You would think. You would think.
Yep. So
what do we know?
Anyway. Okay, so
just before we leave that, there was a question there wondering if the Cicero sheds. No, not at all. There are, like, when you look at it, you can see that there are, like, you can pull them out. There's like the flax, the little, like,
it's like the little linen fibers.
You could pull them out if you wanted to, but I I don't feel that it's been shedding. No,
and I
definitely not.
have a sweater that I've done in that I've worn quite a lot, and I haven't found it. I found it wore really easily. And being a summer sweater that I did wear a lot in the summer, it did get washed quite a bit, and I found it held up really well with the amount of times that it was washed. So
also too, talking about the Knitting Loft, her shipping is so incredibly fast. So when you get it, when you place an order, you're going to get it very quickly. And then the other thing is, given that it's in Toronto, I was shopping online for colors too. So, you know, sometimes it's hard to pick colors online. Like when I did the hat, I knew that I wanted something that was really muted. So I chose these 2 colors online, and I was thrilled when I got them. That's exactly what I was hoping to get as an outcome. So the colors were very true on my screen. So I was pretty happy with that. I wouldn't hesitate to choose colors from there again, for sure.
Yep. Okay. So did you finish anything?
I did. I have 1 finish and 1 hoe. So do you want to start? How many do you have?
I have 2 finishes and 1 hoe.
Okay, well then you can start.
Okay. Okay, so I've been working on a lot of sweaters, so I needed a couple of little things that were just, you know, things that you could get done. So
palette cleanses.
Palette cleanses. So I did a pair of fingerless mitts.
Oh, I love that pattern.
And I really, really like the pattern. And this is a free pattern. Okay, so this is, there's a picture of them, and I can't pronounce them, so I'll just put it up on the screen. So these are the Olava mitts, or Olava Halventer by Grow Halsa. And I'm sure that's wrong too, but they are such, like, the design is just, I love it. Like, it's just such a nice, like, it looks more complicated than it actually is to do. And I just, like I said, needed just a little something to do. I'll put the name of it up there again just for.
So what did you make?
Because I can't pronounce it. These are made out of Sandin's Garn Double Sunday. So this was actually, and I do.
Oh, your leftovers.
That's just my leftovers. So I had a full pair of the Coastal Drift mittens, and then these, one's looking shorter than the other, but I think it's just they're both the same size. But this was the leftover from 2 balls. I had 2 50-gram balls and did the Coastal Drift mittens, and I had enough left over to do this pair of fingerless mitts. So now I did have to do a little bit of yarn management. That's it for the leftover yarn. But that's so satisfying when that's all that you have left.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Absolutely.
So this is the Double Sunday. So the Double Sunday is, they class it as a DK, but I think it's more like a worsted almost. But I did do these on a 3.5 millimeter needles because I have tiny hands and tiny wrists. So I did adjust it. I took some stitches out of the cuff down here, and I did stay on the 3.5 millimeter needle instead of going up to a 4 millimeter needle. And then for the thumbs, I just, the yarn that I had left, I divided in half and just gave it to each thumb, and I just did a ribbed thumb until I ran out of yarn. So, but I think they turned out perfect. And this would be such a great gift knit because I only had 44 grams left in the ball and got these. So if you had a 50-gram ball, like, guaranteed you're not playing yarn chicken at all. And free pattern, it's like a great gift knit.
Yes. Or, I mean, you could even use up a fingering and a mohair, right? To get that same, get that same size.
Yep.
So,
but like, look at this yarn. Like, I want to do like a textured sweater in this yarn because the stitch definition is just
gorgeous. Yeah, it really is.
So that's the Sandin's Garn Double Sunday. And this color is called Dusty Rouge. So, but it's more like a clay color.
Very nice.
Yeah, really happy with them. And the mittens that I made in this, I gifted them to somebody. So now I've got.
I feel like they would almost go with one of your friend to friend shrugs, wouldn't they?
Well, that I haven't made yet. That goes with the yarn for some that I got, but not one that I haven't made yet.
Because I was thinking you had some yarn in a similar colorway that they would go with. Because I think I do. I haven't made mine yet either, but there's this one. And like, if you hold your mittens up.
What color is that?
This one is Bellini. but hold
I
your
think I
mitten
have
up.
that color. I do. Oh, well, now I got to knit that. Okay.
No, hold your
Okay, I
mitten
gotta
up.
go. I gotta cast on it.
Hold your mitten up, I said. Look, hold your mitten up. See, it's like a really good match.
Yeah, I know I have that. So that's what I said. I gotta go. I'm gonna go cast it on. So, anyway, and yeah, I love how they fit. And it's nice when you do that and you can kind of try them on, because like I made the thumb a couple of stitches smaller so that it would snug up to my thumb. And
Yes, yes.
anyway, was very happy with that. Okay.
Good.
Go ahead.
All right. I made this for Miles. I started it last week and I finished it. This is the
I'll get it.
All right. This is the is it the sophisticate? The baby sophisticate. Baby sophisticate.
You have a picture, but no banner.
Oh, I thought I did the banner. Oh, sorry. Okay, you know what? I know that just the name is on the Lyndon
Baby
Heflin.
Sophisticate.
Yes, by Lyndon Heflin. And it is a free pattern on Ravelry for the baby and the up to the 1 year size. So, but it's not meant to be knit in something this chunky. So I knit it in a chunky weight on 6.5 needles, and it ended up being something that's going to be big enough to fit my little 2-year-old grandson. And I love these. I got these buttons today. How adorable are they? They look like leather stitched. And this, I made this using the Peyton's Shetland Chunky Tweed that I picked up when we were in Paris, Ontario, at the Mary Maxim's. And it took 2.5 skeins to do this sweater. And I did buy 4 skeins, but I'm shipping the sweater and the other skein and the bits out to Kendall so that she can actually make a hat for Miles to go with his little sweater. So I did a few modifications to the pattern. And I don't really know that I can sort of speak to them other than just kind of modifying things as I went along. Like, for instance, the pattern didn't call for picking up any additional stitches underneath the arm, but I wanted it to work out to be about 24 inches around for him. So I did a pickup of 4 extra stitches underneath, or a cast on, 4 stitches after I split for the sleeves. And then I decreased them. Once I picked them up, I decreased them right away, like in the armpit. And then I did different bind offs too. They talk about just binding off like in knit or purl, wherever you end up. But I did the Icelandic bind off for all the edges. I really like the way it kind of gives, I don't know if we can see it. I'm trying to find a spot that I can show it. Yeah, you can maybe see it there. It gives a really nice chunky finish to like a garter stitch bind off. I really like it. And it's super soft and cozy. And, you know, we talk about the types of yarns that we can use to knit, you know, for children or gift knitting, or even if you're knitting to give away to somebody and you're just not entirely certain that they would do the hand washing thing. When we look at something like this, the Shetland Chunky Tweeds, this one is completely fine to be throwing in because it's 72% acrylic, 25% wool, and then the little neps are viscose. But this is the same yarn that I knit a sweater for my son when he was 2 years old, and he's 27 now. And that sweater came out and Kendall took it back home with her, and Miles has been wearing it. So it has survived 25 years of well, I guess not 25 years, but it got lots of wear 25 years ago. And then now it's pulled back out and it's still going strong. So it's really wearable, and it's a nice warm, chunky knit for him too. So, and super quick. That was my palette cleanser. Finished it in a couple of days.
Okay. So first of all, Susan wanted to know where she can get a copy of the Oliva mitts. They're a free pattern on Ravelry. So, and actually, before we go past that, she's got quite a lot of nice patterns, and they are free. Like, so this was another one that I really liked. So this is the One of a Kind cardigan. I believe it's called. Just a minute here. I have a banner.
It's really pretty.
Yep. One of a Kind cardigan. And again, by Girls Halt. Now, mind you, this pattern is only in Norwegian, but I'm going to put it into Google Translate because I think it'll be relatively simple. But I think the way this one works is I've seen one version of it where they actually fade in the mohair. So I think you've got one strand of maybe a fingering weight yarn and then 2 strands of mohair. And then you kind of like, you would start with like you're fingering in the white and 2 strands of white mohair, and then go to like, you're fingering in the white and then 1 strand of white mohair and 1 strand of aqua mohair. So you get that subtle fading. But I think it's really pretty. And
It's really pretty.
like I said, the pattern is free, but it is in Norwegian. So some of her patterns are in Norwegian. Some of them are in both Norwegian and in English. And I can't speak to this because I haven't knit it. I just really liked it. So, and I think there was another pattern of hers that was free on Ravelry and was in the top 10 or 20 this week. And that's how I found her. And that's how I found the little hand warmers that I did too. So anyway. Ross is sawing something downstairs. Can you hear that? I was
going to say, there's a noise. It sounds like somebody's moaning in the background.
Okay, just a minute. You talk about, do you have another finished object? Maybe he's stopped now. He's working on the basement, so he's sawing something.
You just have to stomp your foot.
Yeah. Okay, so my next finished object is another little palette cleanser. But as everyone knows, I have a baby boy grandson coming in January, and I haven't knit that many baby boy things. So this is just a little cardigan. It's called the Louis cardigan. Let's find the brand here. Well, first of all, there's the picture. It's by Benja Kirk. And this is done in Barocco Vintage DK. So the colorway is, I believe that it's called Calico. And adorable. It took just a little tiny bit over 100 grams. And I had like a skein and a half left of it from something that I was doing before. So I've still got enough left to do a hat. And then those are little buttons that I got when I was in Lunenburg at the Mariner's Daughter. And I just thought, really like the way they look. And this is just a simple little pattern. Just has a little bit of stitch detail on it. And this is the one where I actually tried that bind off that we were talking about last week. This is the bind off that's by Ankestrick. And it's not sewn. It's a knitted bind off that kind of is meant to resemble the sewn bind off. Well, I'm happy with the bottom, but I'm not really particularly happy with it on the sleeve. It looks like it ruffles a bit. Now I haven't blocked this yet.
Okay.
I haven't blocked it yet, so I will block it and see what I think, and it'll be fine for this. I still like the tubular or the sewn bind off or the Italian bind off better, but it really was nice not to have to measure out my yarn.
But
I had a viewer that wrote me too that also tried it, and she felt the same as I did, that she thought it was nice. It was an easy rhythm to get into, but that she really didn't like the overall effect of it as much. But it might be something that you consider if you've got like 300 stitches or something to cast off.
Absolutely.
So that you don't have
I also just wonder too, like, I know you almost 100% of the time will transfer a 1x1 rib to a twisted rib.
Yep.
And I wonder what that bind off would look like if you were doing a regular rib.
I don't know.
Because I do find that even a sewn bind off looks different on a twisted rib than it does on a regular rib. So I am wondering what it would look like if you had done a regular rib. So you might still have to do a swatch.
I'm not doing a swatch. You can do this swatch. So Christine wants to know the difference between the tubular and the Italian. The tubular has a couple of setup rows, Christine, and the Italian goes straight into the sewing it off. So the tubular gives you a little bit more of a rolled edge than what the Italian does.
And 95.5% of the time I do the Italian bind off or the sewn bind off because I'm too lazy to do the setup rows.
Well, I'm usually playing yarn chicken, so I don't have a choice. So anyway, but overall, really pleased with the cardigan. I wouldn't say that the pattern itself is the best. I kind of know what I'm doing, but there were things that if it was a first-time knitter, I think you'd be questioning what she meant in the pattern. And sometimes that is because I don't believe that English is her first language. She has beautiful baby knits, but I don't think English is her first language. And sometimes some of the instructions don't translate well into the the English copy. So I would just say it shouldn't be your first sweater, but if anybody does it and they have any questions about it, you can email me and I'll help you out with it. But I really do like the overall effect of the little sweater.
It's a very cute pattern.
Yeah,
is there a hat
really
or something?
Nice. No, but I mean, I'll just do a hat and then put that stitch pattern in it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, really cute. So, okay.
So Wendy, the cast off that doesn't need to be sewn, as we mentioned last week, that's right. This is the cast off that she was talking about trying out. Yes. Okay. So then the next thing I have, and I guess it's a hoe. Are we doing hoes now? We're doing hoes in our foes.
Sure, we'll do hoes now.
We can do hoes in our foes. I finished a sock. So actually, we'll just get rid of that banner. There we go.
Okay, you talk. I'm going to tell Ross to.
Okay. So this is a pair of socks that I cast on a couple of weeks ago. And I did a short row heel so that the heels match from side to side. There's no pattern for this sock. This is just kind of a sock recipe that I did. It's a basic 64-inch stitch sock from the cuff down. So I did a couple of rows. I cast on, and then I did a couple of rows in the contrast color, and then I did a toe in the contrast color. This yarn is from Full Moon Fibers, and it's the colorway, Treed Up Land. I have the next one hanging out in this great little button jar bag that we got at Rhinebeck. And so I have already cast the second sock on. I had a little bit of card time. So pretty quick and easy. And so these sock sets that they have, this is what it looks like all caked up. And they do sell it with 2 minis. So the first mini was this lovely lavender that I really like. And then the other one is a darker green. And I just couldn't love this color more. Oh, and I put sort of a fat cable in there too, just over 6 stitches. So I love this color. I love this color. I can't stop admiring it. Do you remember, what was that yarn that you were using?
It was a timber yarn. Yes, I do remember it. I can't remember the name of it now, Royal or something. And it was just like every single stitch I put in, I'm like, I just love this.
She'd stop knitting. I think we were in New York. He'd stop knitting. He'd say, isn't this the most beautiful yarn you've ever seen? Well, I don't know. This is a contender. I don't know why this is speaking to me so loudly, but it just truly is. And I cannot wait. Maybe that's why my sock mojo is back, because I really want to finish these so I can wear them. But I absolutely love this colorway. And while we're talking about Full Moon Fibers, next weekend, the weekend of the 17th is the Friday, 18th is a Saturday, they are going to have a pop-up shop at Little Red Mitten in St. Thomas. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking I'll be going on the Friday night, and I can't wait to see what they are bringing, because they always bring some really nice goodies when they come.
They do.
Beautiful, beautiful yarn. And I just like to have a little visit with them too, because
I know so I haven't seen them and I can't go.
I know we haven't seen them in a little while, right? No. But anyway, it'll be nice to have a little catch up and hang out and knit with some people maybe on Friday night, and see what trouble I can get into at the pop-up shop. So 17th and 18th, put it on your calendars.
Yep.
Okay. What else you got?
So my hoe. So
so fun.
A test knit for Natalie, and Natalie wasn't here. So this is her Advent sock for this year. So this is a test knit. It's based on the night before Christmas. So she's got the different things represent different things. So in mine, I started off up at the top. I did a couple of rows in my Poppy's Pom Pom Samoyed, just to get that little fluffy, snowy look. And then my cuff and my toe is done in, I can't remember the name of the yarn. Was it Yarnbird Studio when Suzanne from Knit Stitch used to do it?
Oh, okay.
I believe it was Yarnbird Studio. So that's the cuff and the toe. And then into these, like basically, other than my heel and this kind of pinkish color that's in some of the little designs, is my Louie and Lola that came in the thread and maple kit from last year for the breast.
Yes.
You did your
Yeah,
sock
this
in.
one, right? Yes.
Yes.
That one there.
Yeah. So that's that, which hardly used any of it. So that was a full ball. So then the rest are just scraps that I had left over. So my first little repeat is your Starry Night. So my stars are Indigo Dragonfly Socktuba, and then the background is Madeline Tosh sock in Penumbra. And then the little bricks are the Louie and Lola. I love this color.
So do I. I want a sweater in this
Louie and
color.
Lola. And then the background in this is the mini that came with it, which was kind of like a really creamy beige.
This one?
And then, yep. And then my quilt blocks here are the gold is again the Socktuba by Indigo. No, it's not that.
Oh, no, not Louie and Lola.
It's the Socktuba by Indigo Dragonfly. And then all my color in there is Patches to Patches by Leo and Roxy.
Ah, yes. Nice.
Yes. And then when you move on down to the sugar plums, my sugar plums are Timber Yarns. And I believe it's one of her purple colors. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it royal purple?
Maroon. It was something maroon.
Okay.
Anyway, those are the plums. The background in this one is ginger snap, and it was like a speckly green one. And then my tiny little stems on my sugar plums are leftovers from Heidi's by hand that I got out in Nova Scotia. And then when you move into this one, the Swirly Snow, this is my West Yorkshire Spinner Silent Night.
Which is
and the Regia Soft Glitter. So yeah, so there's glitter in these ones. And then these are all my toys across here. And across the toys, this is Shellridge Farms, and the purple is glitter. And then the background in this is a little mini that we got at Cake Palooza.
Oh,
remember
right.
She gave us a little mini. So it was a little mini. I can't remember. I did write the name down here of who the designer was, because I hadn't, or the dyer. Let me just check. It was Fashion School Dropout.
I like that.
So it's just kind of like a really colorful background for my toys. And then when you move into the stockings, they are the Louie and Lola, and then it's the Fashion School Dropout for the stockings. And then down into my holly, the holly background again is the ginger snap with the green specks, but then my green and my red in the holly is Socks That Rock Super Sparkle. And then down here,
I'm impressed that you remember all of these. I'm
testing myself to see that I do. So then down in the background in this, I've got the Socks That Rock Sparkle, and then the gold is again the Indigo Dragonfly. And then this is the left sock, and it says, it's the right sock, and it says, and to all A. And then my other sock is going to be called Good Night. Yep. So
fun.
So it was fun. And it was fun. I just grabbed a bunch of my colors, and I thought I didn't know what I was going to put there, but I just grabbed a bunch of colors that I thought would be okay. And it was really fun. Natalie, I could actually almost get into doing scrappy things.
Natalie wants to know if you chose your toys for the grandkids or just what you felt like.
No, you know what I did so that I didn't have to plot it out anywhere? I had 70 stitches. So I went across and up 2. So they were all in a line. So it was whichever ones were in a line. And I did the same thing on the quilt blocks so that I didn't have to draw something out. The only thing I drew out was I wanted my wording perfectly centered. So I just put the whole thing in Excel so that I didn't have to keep going back from one chart to another. So anyway, but when she does the pattern, though, it will be in a format that you can put into Knit Companion.
Yes.
So it'll be easy to do your charts. But yeah, seriously, I could get into doing some scrappy stuff, and I just put them all together in a little basket, and it was fun. So now, because before I thought, I should get rid of all my sock straps, and now I'm like, yeah, I think I'll keep them. So anyway, it was fun. So who knows if I'll even get them done for Christmas, though. I had to get one done for the test, but I'm stressing myself out already about everything I need to get done for Christmas.
How many pairs of socks do you have left to do for Christmas?
Still, I got almost one of these done. So that was another one that I was working on. So I'm at the toe. Can you believe I even stopped in the middle of a row? Seriously? Anyway, so those ones, that sock at least will be done by next week. And then I've got 2 more pairs that I have to get done. If mine don't get done, oh well, but we'll see. They'll get done.
Do you have any?
Yep.
Well, yeah, no, because yours are the ones that match everybody's, right? So yeah, you
Yes, but
definitely have to
Ross's
get
are
yours
done. So
done.
I'll just on the picture, I'll just hang one of his on one side and one on the other side. So
There you go.
okay. Yes. So what else were you working on?
Well, I pulled out a languishing whip. So back in the latter part of summer, I guess, I had a bit of a manic week and I cast on 4 sweaters. I don't know why. So then I did all the fun parts on the sweaters, like all of the yokes, and then new and shiny projects got in the way and I took off. So I decided to come back to this because I saw it lying there, and I think when we were at Rhinebeck, I saw a few of these sweaters and I realized how much I loved it. So this is the Wilfreda. I did have, this is what it will look like when it's done. There is a picture in here. So I like to think of this sweater as being, it's kind of like a ranunculus. It's got that same vibe to it, and it works up like to the same gauge and whatnot. So the way I'm doing mine, whoops, is this is mine. So I'm well down into the body now, and I'm using one strand of the Holst Super Soft, and the color is silver, I think, silver gray. And then this gorgeous mohair from Leo and Roxy, which is dyed to match the wallpaper that is behind their cash register. So this is what you get when you hold just gray and you let the mohair change the color. It's so, so beautiful. I don't know why I ever put this down. So when I tried it on the other day, like to do my test to make sure that because I hadn't even tried it on, I'm like, oh my gosh, Kelly, get knitting on this. I love this sweater. Look at this gorgeous cable. It's so beautiful. And the colors, this mohair is absolutely stunning. So I had just 2 skeins of the mohair, and that's going to be more than enough to do this. And I don't know how many yards of this I'll use. I'll report back when I'm all done. But I am making this not a crop. This one's going to be long enough by what I like to measure to wear with my jeans. So it's going to go down like to hip length. And then I will probably do like a bracelet length sleeve on it again. And I might do one of the ranunculi that I did. I used the I-cord bind off on the sleeve, and I really like that fit. So I may incorporate that in here too. But I am absolutely loving this pattern. I don't know why I ever put it down. Well, I know why I put it down, because it was mohair and it was summer. But it's so pretty. So I'm hoping to get that done soon so I can start wearing that too, because I'm kind of really into it again.
Okay, so I am still working on this, but it's getting bigger. So it's really...
Is that the Wayworn?
Yes, that's all I've got left, like because you go across and incorporate one more stitch every time. So
you're almost there.
I'm almost there. Yep. So I should get that done I'm hoping to get it done this week, because I'm going to London this weekend, so I want to drop it off. But and I'll take pictures. I just dropped my sock blocker. I'll take pictures, because you can't get it like with this, because you're doing it on that diagonal. You really can't get a good idea until it's stretched and blocked out.
Yeah, it's really pretty though. Really
the
pretty.
Texture there is really pretty on the mohair, and I am alternating skeins on that because it is hand dyed mohair. So I didn't want to do like a split, and I just had 2. This was done with their mohair that comes in 25 gram skeins. So this is Leo and Roxy mohair, and in the bottom half, the 2 colors are parchment and password, and then in the top, this is their heather colorway. So it's like a purpley color. So I will get some pictures before I take it back. But because of this, I haven't tried it yet, so I hope it's going to work. I bought a couple of these from Amazon, because every time I work with this, there is yellow fluff all over everything.
Yes.
And so like, especially if you're wearing black or even on the couch beside me. So I just got these today. So I'm hoping, I didn't want to get the sticky ones because they're kind of hard to take places with you, because once you take the one sticky roll off, there's still, then what do? Cover it up again?
Yeah. No, that's the like old school, the one you have right there. I remember but we always had those in our house, those ones there before the sticky things came out.
One of these is going in my knitting bag.
Yeah.
So like, especially with the amount of stuff that I have to do with mohair, one of these is going in my knitting bag just to, and it maybe even in my purse, because I could have used one on the plane.
Well, I had a tiny one, and I remember telling you about this, and I don't know, I'm sure it's in my house somewhere still. I don't know why I would have thrown it out, but it came from Avon, and it was a folding thing. So when you opened it up, the fold could be used as a shoehorn, but then the inside of the fold was that fabric. So it was like a tiny little, you know, it was like probably not much bigger than this, so that you could have something like, you know, in your purse or whatnot. I'm sure that's probably still in my house somewhere.
Well, I just thought I a lot of times I won't work on a mohair thing because I'll look, okay, well, I'm wearing this. Well, I don't want mohair all over it, so I'm not going to work on it. So if I just have that in my knitting bag, hopefully it will solve that problem. Yeah. So, okay, what else are you working on?
I think that's all I'm working on.
Okay, well, I've got some more work.
Couple of things that I have to cast on, but hold on a moment. There was a comment that I wanted to pop up here. So Gwen is asking, how do I do that? She says she has to get a sweater done so that the sets on her 2 sleeves can be used elsewhere. Okay, well, Gwen, I will admit to a fateful error that I made on that sweater. And I've never done this before. I had to use the needles that were on the sweater elsewhere. So I took the needles off and I put the cord stoppers on, and then I put the project down a couple of months ago. So I went to pick it up, and the pattern calls for this body work to be done in a 6mm needle. And when I attached my 6mm needles and tried to get it back through the stitches, it wouldn't even fit back over the stitches. So I know that I didn't do this in a 6mm needle. So then I got thinking, oh my gosh, did I do the whole sweater on a 4.5 when I should have been doing it on a 6? But then I checked my gauge, and the gauge was where I wanted it, but I could find no notes. And that is not like me to not make notes. So I went into Knit Companion, and I wasn't looking in the right place. And after a couple of, I forced 3 rows on, did it, knew it was wrong anyway, picked 3 rows out of mohair, picked it out, and then found the note in Knit Companion that I was actually doing the body of the sweater on a 5. So I did size down on my needles to get a specific gauge, but that was an afternoon and some frustration just getting this project back on track. So that's another cautionary tale on why you shouldn't be leaving things languishing for so long. So that's on me.
Okay. So I am still working on my Starry Starry Night, and I have Beth there, but it's Beth McDonald Stone, and it's getting longer. So I'm hoping this week to at least get that to the point where I've got the hem done, so that all I've got left to do is the sleeves, because I really want this done at the latest by the end of November so that I can wear it for
absolutely
the season. And this pattern has been released now. Beth just released it this week. So this is Starry Starry Night. Mine is done in Holst Garn Super Soft in Venetian, which is the red colorway, held single. That's why it's taking so long. And then my stars are Holst Garn Titicaca, held with a strand of Lang paillettes. And the paillettes are like a gold color. So they just kind of, you can see they sparkle a little bit there. And yeah, and the sleeves are relatively fitted. So I think once I get the body of this done, so I've got, I think, about 2 or 3 more inches before the hem, but it's just the yarn's really fine. It's super boring knitting at this point. The yoke was super fun, but then when you get into all the stocking stitch, but I really want this done to wear in December. So
it just feels like you go around and around and around. You're really not getting anywhere, right?
Yeah. Yep. So, but anyway, gorgeous pattern. And like I said, it is out now on Ravelry. And actually, Beth just had another podcast out this week where she talks about it. So you should take a look at that. So.
Absolutely.
I'm still working on this as well. And this is almost to the point too. This is another pattern by Beth McDonald Stone. And this is her
calabash.
Yeah, calabash. So this one too is, I've got it on needles here where I can't stretch it out, but I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to, it has a split hem. So I'm almost at the point where I'm ready to split.
Mm-hmm.
So this is done with Full Moon Fibers. This is their 100% Rambouillet non-superwash treated in the colorway Fresh Water. And then all of my melons are melons. The calabash is a type of a melon or a gourd. I want to say all of my melons. I didn't mean that. But anyway. Okay, my calabash, I will remember that for the future. My calabash are done in the Knitting Loft Care, which is a silk mohair, but it's like a 70% silk, 30% mohair, and it has absolutely beautiful sheen, and that color is called Baby Doll. So again, I'm not casting on any more sweaters other than maybe baby sweaters until I get these two done.
So you say I say I'm not going to, but I know I will anyway. My fingers have been twitching all week. There's a couple that I really
those are
cast
tests,
on.
so I want them done. They have to get done.
Yeah.
And then I think both of us are also starting a test for Beth. I've already pulled the yarn for it. I know what I'm going to do it in, but I haven't. I need to get these done first. So, so that's the plan. Those and socks, and then maybe a couple of little like palette cleanser projects.
I have a Christmas pair of socks that I have to get going on. I have some socks to make for Mr. Miles. Kendall's socks are done, so we're good there. But yeah, I know I've got some things on the go too, and things that I should be finishing. And now we're going away. Oh, something. Are we done talking about knitting? I wanted to show a couple of other things. Okay, last week was Halloween, and you got to show your little trick-or-treaters, but my little trick-or-treaters hadn't sent their photos in before KnitChat because they're on a later time zone than us. So I just wanted to show you. This was the costume that Kendall worked on for her family. She turned Miles. His favorite thing is Toy Story, Buzz Lightyear, and he loves his little Woody and Jessie figurines. So she turned herself and Derek into Jessie and Woody, and I think she did a really good job. She said it brought back memories of all those late nights that she knew I was staying up the night before in Halloween just to get the costumes ready. So I think Miles has a purchase costume, but everything else that Kendall and Derek are wearing, she either thrifted or remade and put some work in. And then here's just a little close-up of Miles for Halloween. He was pretty excited to be Buzz Lightyear. Pretty excited. So, yeah, so we're going to be going away with them to a nice warm climate and enjoying a week away. And so and then we're flying back with them to BC to spend Christmas and a few days. So that will be something to look forward to. But it just means that I've got to get a lot of stuff done before I can go, because it's going to come sooner than later.
Going away. It's like all the stuff you have to do before you go, and then all the stuff you have to do when you get home.
I know. And it's just been trying to like settle back into some kind of a routine after we finished all of the traveling between, the work I was doing at the fair. Then we went to Paris, then we went to Rhinebeck, and there was like 4 weekends in a row that I was just like flat out running. And so it's just been really this past week that I'm like, oh, okay, I have a couple of days where I can, settle in and try to get my bearings again and get a routine and, clean my house again because it sorely needed it, get some outside work done and, start cooking again. I think Mike was starting to fade away, but it'll all happen. It either it will or it won't, but there's lots to do.
Okay, so I am going to find the banner that we have on our knit-alongs. Okay, so we have several make-alongs going on. We had prizes for our sock knit-along today, so we will have prizes for those again at the end of November. But the other year-long ones that we have going on are our Smash That Stash, and at the end of December, we will have a prize for the last quarter, and then we will also have a prize for that's eligible to anybody that has finished a project in each of the 4 quarters. And then we've also got our Burra Cowl or Marie Wallen or Susan Crawford pattern make along or crochet along or craft along, whatever you want to call it. So it just has to be a Marie Wallen or a Susan Crawford pattern. And we will draw for that also at the end of December. So the Smash That Stash, it's using stash yarn that's been in your stash since on or before December 31st, 2020.
January 1st, 2023.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. So,
and then
those are ongoing.
I put this picture in here too, just a moment. This picture, because this is the mug that Natalie generously donated, and that is going to be, that was for our sock along, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the year. So we'll be doing an extra prize at the end of the year drawing. So one lucky winner will get one of Natalie's beautiful mugs. And as you know, they're very hard to come by. We're very, very fortunate that she gifted one. I was lucky enough to get this one from her recently. This is a quilted mug. Look at all the beautiful quilt squares that she's got going on there. I love this mug. I really like it. So, okay.
Okay, so
just looking, was there anything else in there that we needed that we had to show? Just making sure we didn't miss something that I had in there, but I think we have covered it all. Huh.
Okay, so again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. You make our Tuesday night special, and yeah, it's so much fun to come to the Knit Chat Cafe. And you know what? Sometimes it's so much fun to go out without actually having to go out of your house.
Yeah.
And still be able to get together with so many friends. So
well, it's fun to get dressed up because, you know, it's like party on top and it's the PJs down below.
Up.
Yeah.
No, I do have jeans on. I do have jeans
am
on,
wearing a dress.
Sometimes I have pajama pants on.
Yeah, I am wearing a dress, so I don't have PJ pants on tonight, but I do have on socks that are completely uncoordinated in my Birkenstocks because nobody is going to see. Yeah. So, Isabel, thank you.
And just a reminder to get your pajama pictures in for our PJ party. So you can send that to the Knits and Pieces podcast at gmail.com. Yeah, we'll be asking for that from now until, you know, enough time before Christmas so that Kelly's got enough time to put together the little montage that we put in our pajama party. And the Victoria, the pajama party is going to be on, it's actually going to be on Boxing Day. So Christmas Day is a Monday this year, and Boxing Day just happens to fall on our regular Tuesday. So we are going to do it still on the Tuesday because between us, it would be too hard to find another day that would work during the holiday season. And, you know, so we hope as many people as can join us. And even if you can't be here, make sure that you send your picture in because we'll still put it into the PJ party pajama montage. And yeah,
I will be in BC. So I'll be pajama partying from BC, but that matters not. We can get together anywhere. That's one of the beauties of our platform that we use, Streamyard. We can gather together from everywhere and all over the world.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Just have to have good internet. And sometimes we don't even have that here. So
I wonder if we'll be able to do that from Mexico. We'll have to give that a test because I'll be in Mexico for 1 week before Christmas too, right? So we'll have to see if I can do that from Mexico. That would be great. Okay. Oh, and yes, Marianne. So the next time that we come to you will be after, what are we saying? Today's the 7th. So we'll be on the 14th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we have Remembrance Day. I don't know. Is that a worldwide thing or is that just in Canada?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But
in Canada, we have Remembrance Day on November the 11th, and that's a day that we pause to remember our veterans. So I don't know if that's something that they have around the world or not, but we do have it here. So we will be back next Tuesday. Thank you, Mary, for reminding us of that. To hit the thumbs up button on your way out. That's great. And I don't know, did we get a chance to welcome everybody? We have some new followers too over the last couple of weeks. We had quite a few new guests that joined us after we posted that Rhinebeck video. We kind of had a little, hit a little bubble of subscribers. So if you're in here tonight, thank you so much for watching the chaos and the madness that is a Tuesday night. And I hope you'll be back next week.
Yep.
All right, that's so Canadian goodbye. Are we still going?
I was just looking because someone said in the UK 11/11. Yeah, I don't know if it's worldwide or not. But
Well, it's in
anyway.
Australia. I'm just reading through. So in the US and Australia and the UK. So yeah,
Okay, and Julie said Veteran Day is Friday here in the US. So it may not be exactly the same day. Is that what it is for us? Not Friday or Saturday?
Saturday is the 11th this year, right? What day is this? Tuesday?
I
Yes,
know.
it'll be Saturday.
Like you just our thoughts go out to people that are involved in such horrendous situations all through the world. And we feel blessed just to be able to do this, to get together on a Tuesday night and just kind of um, talk about happy things. And it doesn't mean that we don't know about and acknowledge all the things that are going on in the world. And our thoughts and prayers are with everybody. And the world would just be a whole much better place if everybody was just kind. So anyway, so that's kind of a little somber note, but
Take care, everybody. Have
yeah.
a lovely week. Get some
Yep.
knitting time in, and we will see you all back here next Tuesday.
Yeah, take care. Happy knitting.